everybody, Stacy here from Creatively Stacy. Thank you for stopping by my page. Thanks for chilling while I took a vacation. I was hoping to go live while I was away, but my phone isn't that good and their Wi-Fi was a lot worse, so just couldn't do it. I did a quick live at a restaurant we had gone to with some really cool art. We were in Florida, and they have tons of buildings that are painted, and they have art everywhere. And so that was really cool and amazing. And anyways, got home yesterday. It was a long travel day, and I don't have to go back to work till tomorrow, so I thought I would get on here. I finished a painting this morning. I had been playing with myself, but I thought I'd pop on and say hello to everybody. Hi, Shirley. And do a little painting with you guys, because I missed you. So nothing too hard or crazy today. I don't have the brain power for it. Traveling takes a lot out of you, and I'm not complaining. It was well worth it. Loved every minute of it, but takes a little recovery time for me. So I just thought we'd do some fun florals today and play around a little bit. So I'm gonna turn you down. Say hello when you pop on. If you come on for replay, then say hashtag replay, so I know you were here. Can follow up with any questions, catch any comments, all that good stuff. I do appreciate all of that. All right, here we go. I just started sketching a little bit. Nothing major. How are you today, Shirley? What you been up to? Anything good? So I'm going to start by doing, I'm not painting a full background, I just sketched out some stuff that I wanted to kind of out. I'm going to start by making some green with blue and yellow and just mixing that together. Alright, there we go. With mine, got a little thingy in there. So the more blue you add to it, the more tealy green it'll be. The more yellow you add to it, the more yellow green it'll be. A little water. So whatever makes you happy. And I'm going to start by just doing some shapes. Really taking my inspiration from a lot of the art I saw down in Florida was just these big, bold, bright paintings. And I really enjoyed them. I can't imagine living in a place where you go, just walk around, and whole buildings are just painted in random art. It's really, really cool. So I'm not putting in too much detail right now. I'm just doing a background, laying out some shapes. Give myself a game plan as to where we're going so I can see it visually. Just kind of a really fun, relaxed way to paint, you guys. Just you lay down the basics. I'm occasionally adding a little white or a little blue or a little yellow so they won't all be exactly the same. But if you lay down some basics in the background of your painting, it's kind of a nice guide. And it makes it really easy because you don't have to do a lot of thinking that way. There's just abstract shapes. See how it comes together, right? Most of my leaves are just going to go right off the page or close to it. I'm just using a small angled brush because that's what I prefer. For leaves, you could probably use any brush that you're comfortable with without any problems. We'll go back and put some detail in these later. What did I get all over that? That was weird. I don't even know where that came from. Huh. But I'm just trying to embrace the big and bold of it, I guess. Give you guys an idea of something you can do when you're relaxing and you don't know what to paint, but you feel like doing something. This is always a favorite of mine. I love doing flowers. And I love the ease of them. And they're not going to be realistic. They'll just be shapes. Packed for a few, listening while driving. We'll watch the replay. Oh, okay, good. You are ready to roll. We flew. I'm not a huge fan of driving anyways. I'm not a huge fan of traveling. But we had my nephews and a friend of theirs with us. So with kids, flying to Florida would definitely be the way to go versus hours and hours on the road driving. That has disaster written all over it. That's not a good plan. So anyways, I've got some leaves down here. I'm going to let those dry, and then I'll go back in and do some detailing in those. And for the rest of my background, I think I'm not even going to clean my brush. I'll go right into, scoop up a little blue here. And fill in some space. So I've got a little green and a little blue, and that's okay. Actually, I might want a little white. It's not as bright as I would like it to be. I'm trying to be bright and cheery. So let's just fill that in. You could do, you know, yellow or orange or something, but I want to leave those colors for the flowers. Reds. So we'll see if this background suits me or if I go back and end up changing it to something else, right? We'll see. Parked for a few. Oh, parked for a few. I thought you said packed. You're trying to type and pay attention to where you're traveling to next, right? And blue and green always look really good next to each other, you guys. So that's always a safe bet. It's kind of like the sky and the grass. We're used to seeing it in nature. It's a pleasing color combination. And a lot of times when we're painting, that's really what it's about. If the colors go together, the painting comes together. So, makes it nice. You know me, I don't like everything solid color, so I'm struggling a little bit here. I might have to change this up. Just add a little more something, a little more interest to it. And you can see my brush strokes, so I'm going in random directions, however the mood strikes, right? Hi, Mary Ellen. How are you today? What's happening? Just saying, I'm recovering from vacation, not complaining about it. I'm just, it takes me a minute. So, I'm painting. And just doing an easy, relaxed painting today. I strained my brain trying to do that ocean this morning, trying to fine-tune it, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect by any means, but nothing ever is, so. It was just for me in my journal, so I enjoyed it. But that was only a partial painting because I had started it before I left. So I wanted to do a whole painting. Giving my little one lunch. Aww. Yeah, we had my nephews all week with us on vacation. So we had lunch and dinner and breakfast. It's fun with kids. Fun, fun, fun. My nephews are kind of a little bit picky eaters. They don't, there's not a lot of variety there. They seem to be happy with it, so whatever works. I guess with kids, it's whatever they'll eat, you go with. Easier than fighting. How about meals, right? it worked out really well because neither one of them would try shrimp. So whenever we got fresh shrimp on the grill, they would have hot dogs or hamburgers. And so we got to have all the shrimp, so it was perfect. So that's a good thing, right? So you guys, I'm just grabbing into blue and white and doing this background random. Nothing too stressful. I just want to have some color around. Can always go back and add more elements, but this kind of starts shaping in where we're headed. There we go. I might go back in and put some more leaves in or whatnot later too. You got that right. Yeah, I know, right? Keep it simple. No sense battling over the little things if you can help it. All right, so let's take a little red and a little blue and do some centers of these flowers. So they'll be dark, but they're not going to be brown, because that's no fun. We'll add a little white to it. Yeah. A little red and a little blue and a little white gives me a little purple. Depending on how much red or blue or white you add, we'll change up the shade for you, depending on what you like. We'll do a couple of these. Just keeping the strokes really loose, you guys. Just making this very whimsical. It's not a specific flower. And then I will wash my brush. I'm going to go into the yellow. The other watercolor painting you did was so pretty. There's a lady, she was in the park. I think she's just turned 80. She was a school teacher. Her daughter is an art teacher. Her husband was an artist. And so when her daughter went off to college or whatever, she took up art as well as a hobby many years ago. And she actually invested in a lot of classes and education over the years. She gave me a reference to a really good book. And so when she told me she was a watercolor painter, I said to her, you know, that was always, I always said if I met a watercolor painter, I would ask them if they would teach me. And she was an excellent teacher, and she agreed. She had to think about it a little bit. She didn't agree right away. She made me wait, but just her way of explaining things and the tips and tricks and the knowledge that she gave me. I was there with her about an hour and a half. We painted out on we sat on a picnic table by the water, and we had a reference photo, and she walked me through it, and it was fabulous. I loved every minute of it. So I was very lucky to be able to do that it worked out, because I didn't actually get to know her or run into her until I think it was Saturday. And so then I had Sunday, we were still there, and then Monday we had to leave at 4:30 in the morning. So in order for that to all work, she had to do it on Sunday. And she did have some other plans, but she decided it would be more fun to paint. So yeah, so fortunate. Really enjoyed it. I don't have the supplies to do that at home just yet, although I might dabble in it in the future. It's completely different, but it's pretty cool. So again, you guys, I'm still just laying down some shapes, not getting too worried about the details. I'm just going with the flow here today. We'll go back in and add some details at some point. My background on, I'm going to get this out of the way. So I know that makes a lot of noise for you guys. I'm used to it. I kind of tune it out, but it probably annoys some of you, and I'm sorry. I'm adding a little bit of white with my yellow to just kind of thicken it up a little bit. You could certainly just do more layers of yellow too. It was really fun painting outside in Florida. It's windy though, so it is a little bit challenging. But being in New York and stuck inside all winter, take advantage of every chance you can get to go outside, right? So this week I was outside all the time. I had to stay out of the sun a little bit because I burn easy, but I still would be out in the shade if I could. No amount of sunblock would save me. Believe me, I tried. I bet it was nice to spend time with her. Oh yeah, she's just wonderful. Just wonderful. Really enjoyed it. It was just her and I. And it's funny because it's a campsite that we're at, a senior campsite is where my parents stayed, and that's where we were. And everybody's very friendly. So we had several visitors while we were painting. They came over to check out what we were doing. So it was fun. Really fun. I'm going to get some of this white and some red, make a little pink. It's kind of weird when you're painting along and random people stop and check out your work, right? It was fun though. I would do that again in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. So we're just putting some little, like I said, these aren't even real flowers, you guys. They're just whatever you're feeling. I'm still putting a couple of colors on my brush at a time. Doing it very chunky, making messes, having fun with it. So there's those. I'm gonna go into I'm trying to kind of poke around my page where it's not wet to do my next flower, so if you're painting along, that's always a good tip. Go to the next driest area, right? And I'm not caring if some of my colors blend. That's the fun part about doing a relaxed, whimsical, random art painting, right? We'll connect some of this when we get done. Before we get done, I guess I should say. Let's make some of these a little bigger. Fill in our plate a little bit. Here we go. Putting in some tulips. Ah, yeah. Those could be tulips, right? We are getting closer to spring. That's what they say. I don't know if it feels that way today too much, but a little bit. I'm still on, I'm coming off of 80-degree weather and 80%, 90% humidity. So, adjusting. I think it's almost 40 here today, which is really warm for us. But, I'm still adjusting from the Florida situation, so I haven't, this feels cold today. So like I said, I really am doing random, you guys. Very random. I'm just enjoying the process. Something comes out funny, we'll just change it later. It's kind of the fun part about doing random flowers. I need let me see if I have a purple already made. Here's one. I'll just use this. Do another purple. Whoa. Wake up. Some more white. I got my white all dirty, dipping into all my different colors. Oh, just make whatever shape you like. My brush was too wet on that. Dry it out. Let that dry. It'll draw into that a little. Pull that color into the center. There we go. So on these, I'm just doing purple on the outside of the brush and white on the inside. And just kind of doing a wiggly shape. I'm going back and pulling in. I ran out of purple on that side. Go. Almost reminds me of pansies, except for I think there's too many petals. You know how many petals there are in pansies? We haven't had snow yet this winter. Ha! Yeah, let's move past the snow and go to spring. Oh, I'm hoping it's supposed to be like warmer and rainy, so our snow should be melting. It's like a really hard ice pack of snow. We probably have 4 or 5 inches left on the ground now, but it's that hard snow. And my little pug, when she goes out and walks, she breaks through it. She doesn't like it. I don't blame her. Do not blame her a bit. It's not fun. Okay. Now what? Now what? That's what you get when you don't plan things out. I'll connect some of these. Trying to decide if I want to connect them with green or something else entirely. I feel like since we've been in Florida, we need to have some kind of teal in the painting. This might be a beautiful disaster on this color choice. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to go and randomly put it in. No rhyme or reason to it. Fill in some of this space. I'm ready for spring flowers. The house plants are keeping me busy, but also not the same. Go back and touch up some of those flowers after I do this. That's okay though, because we were going to go back and do some detail anyways, so it'll work out fine. I do love me some turquoise and some teal. I can't help it. It's my love. Blue is supposedly the color of the year, so blue is my favorite color. I love all shades of blue, so That is a good thing. It does look really good next to that purple and yellow too. It's a nice thing, you guys, if you are painting in a journal, get out different colors and put them together. See if you like them. See what your mind's eye tells you. And then if you decide to paint on something else permanently, you'll know the color combinations that you prefer. So it's a really good way to experiment. Where do you live? I live in New York. We are kind of between like Rochester and Buffalo. We're a couple hours from Niagara Falls, kind of thing. We're not in the city. We're very rural. Western New York, I think they call it. Some people call it upstate. Upstate people say we're not upstate. So New York is a very divided state, I would say. Always has been. Basically, you're either from New York City or you're from New York. It's not, they're like two different things, even though it's one state. At least that's my understanding of how people refer to it. That's how we always were taught growing up. I don't know if people in the city actually say that. I don't know if they say they're separate from us. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Alright, so we got all the white filled in so we can see what we got going on here, right? And I've used the same brush for this whole, for the whole situation. I think I'm going to take that same teal, I don't know why I bothered to wash it, and play in my leaves a little bit. Just going to do a line down through them, and maybe some random lines, and maybe we'll even outline them, right? And I'm not doing full outlines, I'm just doing some dashing, bringing some color in. Just to add a little interest. Because who says leaves can only be green, right? We can have some fun with it. There we go. And this is where you just go and make your painting yours. You do what you like to see, especially if you're journal painting. I encourage you to take every opportunity to play around a little bit. Right, you can go back into those yellow flowers and do another coat. Get that washed off pretty good. And maybe I'll just leave the yellow as an edging and do an orange to make them a little brighter. So take some red and yellow and make an orange. Ooh, that's pretty. It's almost like a coral. Do you guys do that when you mix color? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, is it just me? I'm going to go right over it. Because I can. I have smudged the bologna out of that one flower on the bottom, running my arm through it. Brighten this up a little bit. Come back and some yellow back into it, but the yellow is so see-through that kind of gets lost. Better, better, better. Let's put some of that up here too. Just on parts of these flowers. Just to bring it through a little. And I'm not worried about trying to do shading or anything like that because this is not a realistic photo. This is whimsy. This is just expression of colors on a page. That's all there is to this. So you don't have to worry about any rules at all. I mean, you certainly could, if you wanted to make it real, figure out where your interpretation of where the light source would be coming from, and you could really make it very realistic. But sometimes you just need a color explosion, right? Now, if I was going to do this on a canvas, I would probably draw it out first. So I had a good plan, or I would just set this next to my canvas so I would have a guide while I was painting, and I could pick out exactly the elements that I loved from it to carry over. So that's always a good tip. Start in your journal. Figure out what you love, and then go and do it on a canvas or something else. Let's turn over and use the back of this. Pull those colors somewhere else, right? That one's still pretty wet. It's all right. It's all right. That's fun when creating in your journal. Yes, I love playing in the journal because I can really get some good ideas as to what I want to have going down, and really have a chance to play, relax and play. Like I was saying earlier, I missed you guys. I've been out of the loop here for a while, so I'm glad to be back. I did paint the one day with my mom also. We had a good time. We were trying to paint dolphins. First time either one of us ever tried to paint a dolphin, so we just we're winging it, and had a wonderful time doing that. I wouldn't say either one of those were frame worthy, but we enjoyed the process. Had a wonderful afternoon doing that. So if you have somebody that you love hanging out with, I highly recommend sitting down and painting with them. You can have a lot of good conversations over some paint. Now let's see. We'll let those dry a little bit. I'll get a little my little liner brush here. I think I'll start by misting my red and touching up those roses and stuff just a smidge. Forgot to wipe that off. If you don't wipe it off, it drips down onto your page, and that's not fun for anybody. They're still pretty wet because I did really thick paint on them, which is what I like to do, but sometimes it can be a beautiful disaster, and sometimes it can work out to your favor. So you have to be willing to roll with it if you paint with thick paint. This is where I'm talking about going back and putting in some detail. Just on the pinks and reds, I'm just using red, adding a little something to them, just to kind of give them a little more shape. So they're a little bit more than, this is the one I smeared with my arm. And it's okay. It'll be all right. And let's see, this yellow flower is still pretty wet. I'll go back into my, that orange one's fairly dry. my hand in your way? Okay. Bringing the yellow back down into here so that anywhere where the yellow didn't get completely covered by the orange, it looks fine. It just pulls it together. Anybody can do the dots, right? I'm just trying to think of bright, crazy color bursts just to make it fun. Wash that off. Thank you. And let's see, go into the white here. Go with that a little bit too. Let's find our leaves. Bring them out a little bit. Thought I wet that, but it must have dried out on my plate quite a bit. There we go. It kind of defines that color a little bit between the teals and the blues and the greens. I really would like to get up the nerve to paint down in my Diva Den a nice big floral explosion. Hey Mom, you must have got some good Wi-Fi wherever you are. Hello, hello. Don't tell me what the weather is down there. I don't even want to know. Place that we stayed in, they even had somebody had hand painted the dresser. Now the dresser could have used a little love. It had been painted some time ago, but nonetheless, it was pretty. And I've been saying I'm going to paint our dresser here forever. The dresser I have here that we have is from when I was a child. And it's had many layers of paint on it over the years, but it's overdue for a new look. So we'll have to see if I ever get a chance to get to that and give it an update. I'll show you guys what I decide. I even toyed with using some of those paper posters I think I showed them to you guys a while back. Thought about decoupaging on them. Hot spot. Warm and sunny. Ah, good for you. Good for you. I don't know if I can do... Maybe we'll just do here. Let me wipe this off good. I should get a smaller brush. If this doesn't work, I'll just go back to purple, you guys. My paper is a little bit rolly from being wet, so that makes this a little more challenging. There we go. How fun was that? Maybe I'll do both the big ones that way since it came out. I hope I don't jinx myself. Everybody cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Here we go. Got a drag. Saved it. Running out of paint. Don't care. There we go. How about that for fun? I probably ought to put some dots on that other big flower since we put them on. I keep trying to use them. This particular paintbrush, for whatever the reason, the end doesn't work for doing dots. I always try to use it. It never works. I just need to get over it. And then do big ones. Just for fun. But I could picture something like this down the side of a dresser. I think that would be fun. kind of cascading over the top and then down the side. I would definitely have to draw it out to do that, but, and I would use my chalk paint, which is a lot thicker, so I could get away with probably just one coat, and it would be durable. I mean, I would seal it, but it would be durable to do something like this, which completely matches nothing in my house. I don't know if I would care. I don't know, my husband might care, but when it comes to painting and decor in our home at this point in my life, I have decided to just roll with it, do what makes me happy. He doesn't really have a ton of opinions on that stuff, and the few times he's voiced any concerns about my color choices or something, I have simply said, you know where the paint store is, go buy some paint and feel free to repaint it. He has yet to repaint anything, so I don't worry about it too much. She who does the work does it how she wants to. I mean, I don't go insane. I wouldn't do something intentionally I knew he didn't like, but sometimes I think things that I think he would like. It's not always true, but hey, you know, live and learn. So yeah. Whimsical crazy flowers, just for the fun of it. Right? Again, just doing a little bit of edging. Not doing full lines, not worrying about if they're straight. No care in the world when you're just doing painting for your own little art therapy, you guys. Get out the brush, drag it along, see what happens. And hopefully, maybe this crazy flower one will inspire somebody and somebody will paint it and send me a picture of their whimsical crazy flowers, right? I love it when you guys do that. I do. So, if any of you, the mood strikes you and you decide to paint some flower explosion, please send it to me in a message. Post it on the page, whatever makes you happy. I'd love to see it. And if you have not tried yet because you feel like, I don't know, you feel like you can't do it or something, I encourage you to just give it a whirl, or to join one of my monthly paint parties where I actually go through everything step by step. I put a drawing in the group so that you can trace it if you feel better tracing. I give you a list of all the supplies I'm going to be using, and I go through the whole thing step by step in real time. So if you're wanting to just join a fun group of ladies for a paint party, we do it live once a month, but then it's also available on replay, so if you can't make it at the time that we have it, you can catch it anytime and still comment, ask questions, all the good things, and I will see it and come back and answer you. So that's always fun. It's always a good option. We have a great group in there. We've done it a couple times. We've got one more coming up this Saturday, the Gnome, this Saturday, so I'm looking forward to painting with them again. Getting our paint on. There we go. Do you remember the wooden toilet seat I painted with lots of flowers years ago? No, I don't remember that, but I'm not surprised. Do you have a picture of that somewhere? Oh, Lord. You guys, my mom has been making and creating our whole life. She's always been crafting something, painting something, making something. And my father is right there with her. He's, you know, he'll build birdhouses so she can paint them. And, oh. See, it's not just me. If you can put paint on it, it's going to have paint on it. Gotta go, little one's calling. Oh, nice hanging out with you, Mary Ellen. Ah, I thought I was bad. My husband says if there's anything wooden in this house, it's going to get painted. But fortunately for him, I do not have a wooden toilet seat cover, so he's safe. Oh, you cracked me up. Thank you for that. I needed that. Too funny. You guys see, that's why I like hanging out with you guys when I do my art therapy. I love having you all to talk to. No, like I said, if you paint this, send me pictures. Oh, I know what else too. I went on my website today and put a couple of pieces of my art on there. I've really gone back and forth on that because I have a hard time letting go of my stuff. But I also only have so much wall space. So I did put a couple pieces on this morning. And they'll stay on there until until they sell or until I change my mind and take them back off. That could go either way. So, but for now, they're there. Just got two dry. Get back into my orange here and fix that. Got a little carried away. Hi, Patty. I'm just backing that line off a little bit, guys. It was more than I cared for. I don't know what really matters, but so anyways. Oh, I'm still laughing about the floral toilet seat cover. Thank you, Mom. What crazy things do you guys paint? What have you, I mean, any of you guys family feel like if it's not nailed down, it's going to get paint on it? Is it just me? So anyways, whimsical fun, random, colorful joy, right? Oh, hi, yeah, well, I'm just finishing up, but I'm glad you stopped by. I was just playing around, trying to recover from vacation, and doing whimsy, having a good time. So you have to go back and catch the replay to see how I laid this out, but if you try it, you know, let me know. I want to see, and thank you. I have to go back and read the comments, too, to see why I'm still giggling. So, like I said, you guys, if you came on late, say hello if you're still here, obviously, but if you're watching on replay, say #replay so I know you were here too. And thank you for joining me. And I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, guys.